Welcome back everyone to Piney Plays the Beorning. Last time we broke the king's edict and crossed the river and came over to the king's hall, and we managed to keep our head. And I meant that literally. And we also met Mithrandir, Gandalf. Okay, it looks like he's using the name Gandalf today. And Gandalf, you have something to say?
It seems your road entwines with ours for a pace or two more.
Ah, I would not celebrate so quickly were I were you. War has already come to Rohan, and its drumbeat deepens with every passing hour. We are beset on all sides by evils, both known and unknowable. And to be near Gandalf is to be near danger. Yes, Grima would say I brought the danger hither. I do not doubt, but I say Gandalf goes where he is needed, and for this day and every day that is to where danger is the deepest. Alright, and do you have anything with some might on it? Yes, something useful for a Beorning maybe? Yes, 115. What? Alright, that's a bit of a jump. Welcome
Much
to
has
Western
transpired
Gondor.
since last we met, but my companions can give their account.
Yes, the wonderful item stat bloat that happens in the early parts of it. So all my equipment gained before this point is completely and utterly useless because it's going to be washed out by the slightest jumps on the equipment here. Can't go to the skirmish camp for it because that's 85 stuff, and the jump happens at 86. Oh, much has transpired since last we met, but my companions can give you their account. My own would take too long to tell, and from any other would beggar belief. You would trust my tale, I am certain, but then only because you have experienced some things nearly as peculiar. Know this, Pineclaw, I bear tidings both glad and sorrowful. The task set before our mutual friends at the last homely house is still ongoing. Though some of that company are here with us in the Golden Hall, some others carry still the burden to its destination. The errand is not yet done, but neither is it abandoned. Those be glad tidings. I will let Aragorn tell you of the joyful news he has caused us, for it has not brought with the, for what this joyful news has cost us, yes, for it was not brought without strife. You mean the bit about Boromir getting killed, I guess? Hello, Aragorn. How are things going?
We meet again, my friend. I am glad of it.
I'm glad, for there is a shortage of friendly faces in this land. One man of honor I met, and he was imprisoned for his kindness to me. And Gandalf gives you the joyful tidings and leaves the ill news to me. It has been 1 week since our fellowship was sundered at Parth Galen, along the banks of the Anduin. Boromir of Gondor fell there. He gave his life protecting the halflings Meriadoc and Peregrine, but they were borne away by the great orcs of Saruman. Others went another way. I had to make a choice, and I chose it. We would not abandon Merry and Pippin. I do not know if I chose right. The orcs were destroyed before our pursuit ended, and Gandalf tells me the hobbits found safety. Should I have done otherwise? I cannot say, but now we must do what we can for Rohan, and put beside us what regrets we may. All right. Hello, Legolas.
It is good to see you again, though we are met on the very precipice of danger.
How have you fared since last we spoke? Well, things have been going on a bumpy road. Yes. Oh, what is that young friend used to say? You have gone from the frying pan into the flames, and the frying pan was hot enough. You have had adventures to spare, Pineclaw. It seems we have all done so. I am glad your own journey has brought you to Fangorn, as did mine. I can spend years exploring beneath the canopy, never feeling the passage of time. were it not for the pull of that which moves my feet. Once our friends are safe, perhaps I will follow that pull to where it leads. Yes, the sea, Pineclaw. I speak of the sea. Oh, hello, Gimli. How are you faring with these two people?
I have cloven a number of orc skulls since we last met, but it is not enough.
Yes, it has been several weeks since we have last met. What have you done with your time? I have cloven a number of orc skulls since then, but not enough to satisfy my hatred for those beasts. Some of their ilk led us on a merry chase across Rohan, and my chest fills with pride to tell you that I outpaced even Legolas in that race. I may have been winded true, but Gimli, glowing sun, did not abandon the pursuit without need. When we caught up with the Uruk band at last, they had already been slain by men of Rohan. It has been 2 days since our pursuit ended, and I have nearly caught my breath again. I have never run so far or so fast in all my days, and I would be content to stay in one place for the rest of them, if that place were a mountain with a good stone and deep roots. Yeah, I could understand. They could use some people at... Oh, never mind. You already told me your road is in a different direction. Hello, Your Majesty.
I feel as if a heavy shroud has been lifted from my sight.
My days were filled with dark dreams, and my nights were no different. What foul craft of Grima's is to blame? No, not his doing alone. It was my weakness that allowed him to dominate my mind. No longer. I am myself again and free of his whisperings. It is well that Gandalf arrived here when he did, and that Hama allowed him to pass the threshold. That transgression I will forgive. Grima may have intended further mischief. Indeed, I am certain of it. Leave Meduseld and speak with Hama. Tell him I want Grima's chambers to be searched, and my sister's son Eomer released from imprisonment. These actions were poorly done, and must be righted. Alrighty then. Let's take care of that. So let's go outside and speak with Hama, and hopefully he'll be happy to know that he made the right choice. Hama, I have some news from the king. Yes? You returned from within your
These are
own
better
power?
tidings than I believed possible.
Yes, which tells me that your wager was correct, and you will draw breath until tomorrow at least. Yes. These are better tidings than I believed possible. You are a friend both new and true to bring me such words. Beorning, my king, you have been brought from the darkness by wisdom of Gandalf. He is the Storm Crow no longer. White Wizard, friend of Rohan and its people, I rejoice to hear it. Beorning King restored at last.
I will guide you to Grima's chambers, as the king instructs.
We must remain alert, though, Pineclaw, for Grima may have left the seeds of some mischief in his chambers. He may still manage to work some evil, and that would be a cruel cut indeed, to know that his treachery and still succumb to it. Grima's chambers are northeast of the steps that lead to Meduseld. Come, I will show you the way. Alright. He says, come and I'll show you the way, and of course, I go and find the way myself. Typical MMO. As they stand guard and watch. To see what is happening throughout the lands. I wonder how far they could see there. Maybe we could do that after the evacuation. We can have a chance to see how far they can see. Alright, and now we need to go to Grima's. I think this is Grima's house. Yeah, that's Grima's chambers. There's this old thing about this house right here where people very often run into there thinking, well, that must be Grima's Chambers. No, 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 this is Grima's Chambers. Alright, let's see. Oh, well, he does follow us. Now, in here we have to search for the various things. Let's see, scattered books. Anything here? A marked page in one of these books reads, "No mere wit he." Okay. A chest. If I can stand that way properly. Anything here? The chest is tightly locked, and I don't have a key for it. Oh, well. What's in the table? A crude map lies on the table, but I cannot discern what it represents. It must be a pretty crude map if you can't tell what it represents. The pages? In the books. Alright. These books detail the geography and history of Rohan, but contain nothing of note. This wooden table. And carved in the table is a crude representation of a crying eye. Right. Crying eye. Like an Iasaron. The cabinet stands empty. Oh. But did someone get here before me? Don't know. And this contains linens and fine clothes rumpled now and in disarray. Oh. Well, we best pick up this chair and see what happens. Oh, wait a minute. A key. A golden key. Well, I hope it's not made out of pure gold, otherwise I doubt the key would be able to do much. Alright, let's open this. Inside the chest you find items too varied to belong to Grima, including a sword. Alright, interesting.
What did you find there?
This is, Hilregrim, the sword of Theoden. It is possible that the king asked Grima to keep the sword safe in his chest, but such safekeeping is no longer necessary. I will return Hilregrim to its master once I have brought Aylmer word of his release. For now, bring these other items to Grima in Meduseld and see what he has to say about them. These items are both too varied and too valuable to be his property. I'll warrant, and this explanation for possessing them should be interesting. Yes. So, back to Meduseld. We are back in the Golden Hall, and see what we have here. Oh, Grima! Can you explain all of these items?
Every one of those items was a gift.
What are these things? Why do you show them to me, vile man? I found these in your chest. Every one of those items was a gift. You are a thief. I demand that you return those things to my chambers. And when you return to my presence, you come airing an apology. I have suffered at the hands of those ingrates, and now my own possessions are being paraded before all the court, and my name dragged around like slime. These are the thanks I received for months of tireless service for the king? You are a liar and a thief. Your voice drips with poison, and your words are all false. I curse thee, and beg that some kind heart will defend me from your insults and your slander, and... let me see... Can you at least be consistent with your pronouns? I mean, you are a thief. I curse thee. Please, be consistent. Hello, Your Majesty. This is what I found at Grima's chest.
Where did you get these items?
You say they were found within Grima's chest. I see. Yes, I'll have one of my men restore these items to their proper owners. I am of a mind to send the worm back to his proper owner as well. Would it be a mercy, I wonder? On this day, and in sight of his continued crimes, I am more interested in justice than mercy. Oh, do we have anything here that can be useful? Vitality, deception, agility, vitality, and vitality, agility. Yeah, this is the tricky thing, is that there is no real good stuff for a Beorning here. Fortunately, this has just so much armor in it, and has so much more vitality. Even dropping the might, I think, is worth it.
Wait. There is one item you should return yourself, as its owner is here in the hall.
Yes, I am not a poor judge as to think that my sister-daughter Eowyn intended Grima to have this token of her favor. Return it to her, and she will tell you for whom it was intended. Okay. Hello, my lady?
I remember this token. I gave it to my brother to bring him good fortune in battle.
Yes, and he wore this on his ranging throughout the mark. It must have been taken from him when he was confined to his chambers by my uncle's command. No, that command was my Lord Theoden's, but the words were Grima's, and my brother's confinement was carried out by those men Grima selected. One of them must have taken this token from Eomer and given it to Grima. Had I known this, I would not have allowed it. Bring this token of mine to my brother, and tell him of our uncle is restored. He is being confined in his chambers in Adoras, north of Meduseld. So now we have to find Aylmer's chambers. First Grima's chambers, then Aylmer's chambers. Well, at least we don't have to go to the chamber of crossroads. So let's get back going, and I think a little mounted ride is going to be useful. Yes, no, I am not going to. Now, I have done this with the war steed on a couple of occasions, but let's just say that the results are more likely to be not as intended, so to speak. It might turn out to be amusing, perhaps. I don't know. That would be the best possibility. Ooh, oh, wrong quest. Ah, there we go. I have found entrance to Aylmer's chambers. Let's go inside. Hopefully the guards don't kill me trying to do so. Alright. Ah, here he is. Hello there, Aylmer.
Thank you for bringing me these tidings, friend.
I am glad to see that you are well. Hama has brought me the news that I am free to leave, but that is not what lightens my heart. The most joyous tidings are that my uncle Theoden has awakened to the fact of his peril, and his treacherous consular has been dragged to light. Thank you. This was a token from my fourth heir, one of Grima's men. Oh, taken from me by fourth heir. I am pleased to have it back, but I would sooner teach fourth heir a lesson about respecting the belongings of others. I was treated well enough by the guards outside the chambers, but my inability to do anything for my family or for Rohan was the cruelest fact of this imprisonment. I spent many hours studying the map of Rohan in this room upstairs, trying to develop a strategy for the defense of the kingdom that could be undone by Saruman. Go, study the map yourself, and see if there is such a strategy I might have missed, for I came up with the little of use. Well then, I suppose we could go and check that out. I think that's this way. Here we go. Maps of Rohan. And you could study, this allows you to study each of the various regions of Rohan if you wanted to. I don't think we need to go over all of that. I studied the maps of Rohan for a time, but few strategies present themselves to me that could stand against the armies of Saruman. I remember back when Anding was doing his series on this, when the expansion first came out, he kept on saying, "Hint, Helm's Deep! Hint, Helm's Deep!"
Return to my sister and give her my thanks and my love.
Did you find a strategy that could help serve against the armies of Saruman? Hint, Helm's Deep! Okay, sorry. Sadly, I did not, and I had more time to think of the problems than you had. There is no shame in it. Our strength lies on the open fields, but against such numbers as you say Saruman has assembled, I do not think our strength will suffice. The mark is not as defensible as we need it to be. Return to my sister, and give her my thanks and my love. I will see her when I return to the hall with Hama. Perhaps we will look at that map once more, and see if there is something we have missed. Helm's Deep! Alright. Next time when I return, I will speak with Eowyn in Meadowseld in the next episode of Pineleaf Plays The Beorning.